What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Movies That Make You podcast, where movies are more than just entertainment. They're a catalyst for meaningful conversation. I'm Jonathan Sprang, and I go by Sprang, and most weeks we dive into movies to watch in preparation for a new release hitting theaters. But we don't stop there. We talk about the morals, the values, and the life lessons these movies have to offer. This week, we've got an epic show for you of epic proportions. We had our live stream just a few weeks ago. That was to celebrate our 100th episode. This episode is going to celebrate our 2-year anniversary, and we've got a bunch of guests. We've got POPpaGoss, we've got Popalicious Popheads, and we've got a new friend to the podcast, Horror Cat Dad. We're going to be talking about Predator. We are talking about all the Predator movies that have led up to this. Predator Badlands dropping Friday, so we are super stoked to have Horror Cat Dad for the first time and to have all of our returning guests. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be crazy. We hope you'll go check out our website. It's bio.site/movies that make you. There you'll find all of our links to all of our social media channels on YouTube, Instagram, and elsewhere. You can also find our podcast links to Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can also check out our letterbox, which shows you all of our lists on the movies that make you laugh, the movies that make you cry, the movies that make you scream, and everything in between. Before we dive into this week's episode, though, let's take a look at the next 4 weeks on the Movies That Make You podcast. Next week, we're going to be discussing Now You See Me 1 and 2 in preparation for Now You See Me, Now You Don't, hitting theaters that Friday. The entire cast is back, plus more, so it looks to be a lot of fun, magic, mayhem. Join us. The week after that, we've got a very special episode. Monday, November 17th is the actual anniversary of Charlie Brown adopting Snoopy. So we're going to be doing the Peanuts movies, the short ones, plus the feature film. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that. The boys requested to do this episode, and I was like, this is going to be so great. The timing's perfect. 75 years ago on this date, Charlie Brown adopted Snoopy. The week after that, we're going to be talking Zootopia and giving our top 5 animated animals in that episode, all to gear up for Zootopia 2 hitting theaters. The week after that, we've got the FNAF movie sequel coming to the theaters. We've got Skeet Ulrich, Matthew Lillard playing these scary, scary things, and we're going to be discussing FNAF 1 and more on that episode to get scared. Hope those episodes excite you. So without further ado, let's get to the podcast. We are back with another episode of the Movies That Make You podcast. I am Jonathan Sprang, and I go by Sprang, and I've got a full table here. We're going to have a lot of fun today talking about Predator movies. But let me introduce my guest. We've got POPpaGoss back on the show. We've got the Popalicious Popheads back on the show, and we got a first-time guest on the show, the Horror Cat Dad. Welcome, guys. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Great.
Pretty good.
Great,
Awesome.
man. Doing great. Hanging in there.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you guys are all on. We were talking a little bit about doing this Predator episode. I mentioned it to POPpaGoss, and he said, then we got to have my buddy Horror Cat Dad on. So looking forward to hearing your thoughts on Predator, as I've heard you're an awesome expert on that. So, but before we do that, we like to do what we call mustards, and that's because we catch up. So POPpaGoss, why don't you give us a little update? How's life been going for you, bud?
Life's good, man. Just finally getting back in the workforce after 2 years stay-at-home dad. I'm a substitute teacher, believe it or not. I only picked up a few shifts so far, because we're about to go out of town next week to Colorado to visit family and friends. But it's been, the first few shifts I did were really awesome. I can kind of tell why teachers do what they do, because it was the experiences I had in just a few shifts was really cool. So got that going on. It is Hot Topic Scare Fair week, which is one of my favorites every year. So I was able to go out and find what I was looking for, thankfully.
Nice.
Did a short for that I put out yesterday, and it started out slow, but it's starting to gain views today. So it's almost at 1,000 already, but hoping that'll get, I'm really close to 150,000 views, which was one of my like big milestone goals when I first started the channel. So I only need like a couple thousand more views and I'll be there. And then closing in on 900 subs on the YouTube
That's
channel.
amazing.
So I need like 22 more subs, I believe, and I'll get at 900. Once I get to 1,000, I plan on doing some sort of giveaway, just to thank everybody. I'll probably do a couple giveaways actually. And then, yeah, just prepping for this awesome Predator episode the last couple weeks. So,
Yes.
other than that, I'm just loving life and sharing love because we need it in this world.
Yep, absolutely. Very cool, man. Tommy, how about you, man? How's life going?
Man, it's kind of opposite from Josh. Out here, trying to find a job and stuff like that. It's hard out here sometimes, but hey, gotta roll with those punches sometimes. So just keep getting up every day. But I'm planning on putting out more videos once again because I hadn't put out a video until yesterday, and it's been a couple weeks since I put one out. So I was kind of in my head with a whole lot of stuff because I didn't want to do a video and have the way I really feel come across in that video and not be genuine. So I just put everything down, trying to sort some things out in my head. Had a long talk with myself, doing some things. So everything's gonna get better. Everything's gonna get better. It doesn't stay like this forever. I don't want to come on here and sit here and smile. Oh, everything's great. No, it's not. So I'm gonna be real with you. And so I'm just gonna keep on pushing, keep on the grindstone, keep that smile that I'm always gonna have until the day out this planet, and just keep on rolling and rocking. That's all I'm gonna do.
Awesome, man. Well, we definitely
keep your head up,
that.
buddy.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely. We're here for you. We're here for you. So thank you for being here, man. And Larry, Horror Cat Dad, buddy, it's great to meet you. I'd love to hear how your week's been going.
Yeah, once again, thanks for having me on. The week's been crazy. Well, all around the last few months with work has been crazy. Yeah, when I was kind of getting ready for this, it's kind of like, okay, I can this is going to be something that's going to take my mind off of work and everything. So, but no, I mean, other than that, everything's been good. Just kind of getting ready, for the stuff coming up, holidays and stuff like that. And yeah, but other than that, just kind of doing stuff with the channel. I've been working on stuff, recordings and stuff like that I need to work on. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just mostly grinding it out with work, having to deal with that. So
for sure, man. Tell us a little bit about your channel. Like, what is your channel focused on? What kind of content do you put out? Love to hear that for our listeners and watchers.
Yeah, so for my channel, basically I review mostly horror related figures and collectibles. For the most part, it's mostly like figures like NECA and stuff like that. But every now and again, like I do get some stuff that I'm very particular on what I pick up. But other than that, it's just really just horror collectibles in general. Like I'll put out videos on hauls and stuff like that, and put out videos when I go to conventions and like people that I meet, stuff like that. Because I also get autographs and I get like vinyl and I get a bunch of stuff. So usually I have a bit of a lot of everything, but it's mostly horror related. And every now and again, you'll see my cats and stuff like that, either in posts that I do or in like shorts. I'll do some videos with my cats and stuff when they're doing something, wacky, which is always. But yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell. That's what it is.
Very cool. Very cool. That's awesome. And we'll talk a little bit about it, but I actually Josh turned me on to the cons. I had never been to a con, and we've gone to 3 this year so far, and we got 1 more in November. So
nice.
We're excited for it. We're going to Tulsa for a Tulsa Horror Con, which is later in November.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, so excited. And I started my first collection of signatures on a Scream poster. So I'm going to try to get a bunch of Scream actors and everything to sign that poster. So that's where I'm at on the cons and the collectibles. I have a couple of pops, but most of my content on my channel is just movie related specifics and stuff like that. But I'm getting into that, dipping my toe a little bit into the other stuff too. So It's fun.
Yeah, so Larry, he's also in Texas, but you guys probably just missed each other at Texas Frightmare last year because Sprang and his wife, that was their first con they ever went to, was Frightmare this past year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But Larry always goes to that too. He travels up there, and I'm hoping I can make it this year, and maybe we can have a big group meetup. That would be pretty
Yes.
awesome.
And
We'll
Tommy,
get Tommy out there too.
I've already
Wow.
talked to Josh, man. We're gonna get
Yeah.
you out here for Frightmare if you're up for it.
I would be so down.
All
Yeah.
right. I'll send you
And
the
if I
date.
could take the trip out there, boy.
Yeah,
Wow.
you got time to plan because it's not till May. But
Mhm.
May?
but yeah, Spring and I want to try and fly you out. Even if I can't make it, I'm hoping I will make it. But we want to fly you out to Frightmare so you
Dude.
can hang out and stuff.
Yeah,
That'll
and you
be
can stay
nuts.
at my house, so no hotel expenses either. So we got you, bro. Yeah.
Nice.
Gotta-
Wow.
I-
I appreciate
I was feeling
that.
I was feeling bad like last time we did the live. You're like, man, I want to do some cons. I want to hang out with y'all. And they're like, we'll look at flight. I looked at flights, and they're so reasonable.
Yeah, they're really cheap.
So we're gonna take care of that for you, so you don't have to
Yeah.
even stress about it. We'll get you there. We'll pay for your ticket and everything. So
Oh,
it's
dude.
all
Y'all are-
expense.
man,
Well,
y'all are the
you gotta pay
ones.
for food, but we'll get you there. How about that? Yeah, that'd be awesome. And then we can do all of us together hanging out at Frightmare.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Can
Yeah.
you imagine the videos that would come from that?
Exactly.
on, man.
Exactly. It's gonna be fun. Well, cool. Well, before we jump into the movies of the Predator series, I do want to kind of open it up a little bit to you, Larry, because one of the things I like to do with my guests when they come on, because we're talking movies, just kind of tell us a little bit about your history with movies, where you started watching horror movies, if you want to, in particular, and kind of what's some of your history with movies, and why do you like them so much?
Well, I have my mother to blame for that. She, since I was little, she would always take me to the movies. As I got and my first dip into horror was really elementary school. I found these, I call them the orange books, and they would cover all the Universal monsters. So the first one I picked up was Creature from the Black Lagoon, and I was hooked, and then and since then I would bring them home and I would show them to my mom, and she's like, well, these are movies, and I'm like, these are movies, and back then it was Turner Classic Channel or something like that, and so they would show them, and that's when I started watching them. I wasn't big into horror when I was like a kid, but I was into a lot of movies. I was a Star Wars kid, so I was a lot into that. But my love for film and stuff came from that. I mean, from my mom. She really just got me into all that stuff. And as I got older, my cousins would always have horror movies playing at their place. So I saw a lot of the stuff like Jason, Freddy, Michael. I saw that the main, the Mount Rushmore, if you want to call it that. And so I always saw that stuff from them, but I was mostly a Star Wars action movies, comedies. But as I got older, I got more into horror again. I had buddies that were like, watch this movie. So it's always been in my life, saw Predator 2 in the theater, saw Alien 3 in the theater. My mom took me. It's just, just stuff like that. It's just,
Here's what we got to do then now, because I think Josh and I have talked a little bit about it, the Mount Rushmore of horror icons. And I think most of us are probably going to have 3 of them that are similar to everybody else, because it's usually Jason, Michael, and Freddy, right? Like that's kind of how I see it.
Yep.
But the 4th one is one that's like, what would you say, Larry? What would you say is your number 4 on the Mount Rushmore of iconic horror characters?
See, that's hard, because are we going based off of like franchise? Are we going based off of like the longevity of like how many films they've done? Like that's a lot of the stuff that I take into consideration, because I mean,
Totally.
if I really wanted to say, I mean, I could probably put Creature from the Black Lagoon as my 4th, but I can also say I can also say The Thing, because The Thing for me is a masterpiece. And then, I mean, forget about it. I'd put The Predator on there as well. But I mean, my number one would be Jason, and then Michael, and then Freddy, and then actually, no, I'd put Jason. Yeah, I would put Jason, the Predator, and then Michael, and then Freddy.
Yeah.
I like it. What about you, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, people who watch my channel and watch the podcast know Michael's like my number one, mainly just because of the original Halloween. Like that movie, it broke so many grounds for what we know in horror and in just cinema in general. So that's why I love it so much. But also, it's just Michael is just so iconic. Even in the bad stuff, I mean, all the icons have versions of themselves.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we can't be perfect every time. So the original is usually the best. And then, like for Freddy or Jason, for example, like my favorite Jason is not, Friday the 13th Part 2, Baghead Jason. That's like I love how he looks. I love that he has like one eye hole. I just think it's so cool. And like I know obviously people love the hockey mask, and that is really cool looking. But yeah, like my favorite Jason is Part 2 Jason. But yeah, I don't know, horror icon, like kind of like what Larry said. I mean, you can throw other things on there that don't necessarily have a ton of versions of themselves or sequels or whatever. Like The Thing, I agree completely with Larry, and I've talked about The Thing too, and how much we love that movie. So you could put stuff like that, and then Creature from the Black Lagoon is my favorite Universal monster as well. I just like creatures in general. Monsters are just more intriguing to me for some reason. And we have all kinds of different versions of monsters. So I think that goes back to what Larry said with you can kind of put a lot of options in your horror icons, like top 5. So
yeah, absolutely. What about you, Tommy? You got one you want to put up there?
Well, number one is right here.
Yeah.
Yes. That is number one on the Mount Rushmore for me. And then you have, the Freddy, Jason. You can put those wherever you want to put those. But I'm gonna have to go forward with Nosferatu, man.
Oh yeah,
this dude.
OG.
I mean, who wants to mess with Nosferatu?
Right.
Not one single person in that era, and even the newer version of the movie, how it was able to show a little bit more than like the old school one. The classic one is classic. You know what I'm saying? That's bomb. But that new one, how they could have they did so more with those special effects to take your mind into that place that the classic one didn't take you to visually. And that's why I picked Nosferatu for number 4 for sure.
Dude, that's a great pick.
Nosferatu's been, kind of flushed out in different ways, like because it's basically I read an article the other day that was talking about Nosferatu took from the original like Bram Stoker Dracula, but like tweaked it and then made it kind of its own thing. But then you have all the Dracula iterations, which are all pretty much come from the same thing,
right?
And then you have like the Werner Herzog Nosferatu, which is really awesome too if you've never seen it. With Klaus Kinski is Nosferatu. But yeah, that's a great choice because I mean there's so many different iterations of Nosferatu and Dracula that it kind of even Voyage. I didn't see that movie, but I heard it was good. The Voyage of the Demeter or whatever. Yeah. Demeter, yeah. But yeah, that's even like kind of the same lore. So
yeah.
Even with me, like with Nosferatu, it's still my favorite. It's still my favorite silent film. I mean, I love that. I love that film.
Yeah. Those silent films are real creepy, man. Because like, especially if it's nighttime at your house, and say you have a creaky house or you hear footsteps or something like that, you're like, man, Nosferatu hiding somewhere. Yeah, man, I love it. Great silent movie.
So my wife and I did a couple of silent films as a part of a there was a podcast I listened to, and they did their top 10 like cinephile films. Like what would you recommend to somebody who wants to be a cinephile? And they had a couple of silent films on there, and one of them was The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Have you seen that
Oh,
one?
yeah.
No, I've
That's
never heard
another
that.
good one. That's a really, really good one.
What's that
So
again?
What?
It's called The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. And I'll definitely share it with you so you can
Okay.
check it out.
Okay.
I think we ended up being able to like stream it somewhere, but yeah, it's a similar horror type film. And it's even got some like vampire-ish tendencies too, but it's
I
1920.
think that one, I think that one, if you go on the Rotten Tomato like top 100 list, I
Mhm.
think that one's in like the top 10 like highest rated one of
Yeah.
all time. So I think
My
it has
son-
like a 98% on Rotten Tomato.
The
or
other
something.
thing too, Tommy, if you're a Tim Burton fan, watching Caligari, you can definitely see where Tim Burton got a lot of his influence from. Just watching Caligari.
Okay. Okay.
Very, very gothic, very,
I'm looking forward to
very-
seeing that.
stylistic. Yeah.
I'm looking
That's
forward
cool.
to seeing that.
Oh,
That
yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah, the shapes of the doors and stuff like that. Is that what you're saying, Larry?
Yeah. So like the sets
Like
and
the
everything,
visuals?
everything is kind of
Yeah.
like, the visuals are kind of like at an angle, and they're just kind of like off a little bit, and you can clearly see where Tim Burton has gotten influence from that.
That's awesome. And thank you for helping me know how to pronounce it, because I pronounced it wrong. So Caligari. Caligari, is
tough
that how you
one.
pronounce it?
Yeah, Caligari.
That's good.
Caligari.
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 Well, very cool. So how about we jump into The Predator? How about that?
Let's
Sound good?
go.
Awesome. I'll give just a quick like kind of the statistics or whatever, the basics. Came out in 1987, directed by John McTiernan, written by Jim Thomas and John Thomas, and then actors, of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, Bill Duke, Jesse Ventura, Shane Black, who's going to come back later to haunt us, and then Kevin Peter Hall played the Predator in that film and Predator 2. So that's some of the basics. Larry, you want to give us a quick synopsis of the film?
Sure. Team of commandos on a mission in South America jungle find themselves hunted by extraterrestrial warrior. I mean,
Yes.
Yes.
That's
Straight to the point.
Yeah, straight to the
straight to
point.
the point. Yeah, absolutely. So, what is the biggest thing that stands out to you? Why does this one become on your Mount Rushmore, Larry? Like, what is it about this film in particular that kind of set you on this path?
I mean, from the dialogue, the action, the set piece. I mean, the creature itself. I mean, just and I'll not to go too much off on a tangent. I was at Texas Frightmare this year, and I saw somebody dressed as a predator, and
Yes.
I just look over to my buddy, and I'm just like, might sound weird, but the predator is just, it looks gorgeous. Like the
Mhm.
creature looks
Yeah.
amazing to me, and just the fact that you have these big tough guy action guys that are afraid, you know, like they're like an elite special forces team. They've been through hell and back, and then this thing they're actually afraid of, you know, and it's just one of them, you know.
Right. Yeah. I think rewatching it this time, one of the things that really stood out to me was how they are this elite fighting team, but they're he's really strict. He's like, we're not here to fight any wars.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to help people. We're here to save people, but we're not just going to do your dirty work. That's not what this. And then of course, Carl Weathers Dylan has to lie to him basically to get him there. And then they get in the situation. He's like, basically the whole time the whole team's like out to see Dylan fail because he's led them into a place where they're not used to going. Oh, they aren't. It was like against their will with lying to him and stuff. One of the things I think that this film does well too, and I talked about it with the boys on when it comes to Jaws, is that whole suspenseful. There's this hidden or secret villain that's out to get our characters, and you don't see him fully till nearly the end of the movie. And it's that same kind of tension in this film as it was with Jaws, which of course Jaws did it by accident because he had to with Bruce giving him so much trouble. but it really set the tone. And this one really does that same thing. It's Jaws in the jungle is how my wife described it when we were watching it. So I thought that was pretty
a good way
cool.
to describe it.
Yeah. What about you, Tommy? What's something that stands out to you about this film?
Something that stands out to me about this film is I don't want to go on what Horror Cat Dad was talking about, how he visualizes this predator as being this extraterrestrial being that's beautiful. And with my curiosity, I'm thinking with all of these universes and galaxies that are out there, why does the predator have to have like 2 arms and 2 legs and a head and face? Why couldn't it be shaped to something else? Because like there's a whole bunch of stuff out there that we don't know about. So is it just something to make it just look like the predator's cool looking now? Because back in the day here in Jacksonville, you might know him this Sprang, down there at the Jacksonville Landing. Every October Halloween, they had this big party down there, and there was this guy who came down there dressed as the predator every single year, and his outfit looked exactly like the predator with the little clicking sounds and everything the predator does. And I remember looking at him like, man, you really do look human, but you're like hella ugly, but you're like human. So
Yeah.
I'm sitting here like, well, why couldn't he like look like something else or look something different than like a really ugly, messed up looking human? But I love the way he looks though.
Yeah.
I love his look, but why not make it look something else is what I want to know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think they mess around with his look in each of the films.
Yeah.
They do some variations, but you're right. It is kind of that whatever it's called. It's very much human-like in its design.
Now, one thing
Larry,
I
did you
can
have
say,
something? Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the original look of it, because that's what we get. That's not the original look of the predator. The original look was more of like an insect-looking creature.
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
That was actually in the costume. It was Jean-Claude Van Damme. So
Yeah.
originally it was Van Damme as the predator.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then he was only, and actually, if you watch the movie, there's certain scenes where it is him cloaked, and but beyond that, they ended up changing the design and stuff like that, and help from James Cameron. James Cameron kind of told him, I want to see something with mandibles. That's why the face has the mandibles and stuff. So we wouldn't have that look if not for James Cameron.
Well, and to go back on Van Damme, like they originally in the script, it was going to be like a martial arts type creature or whatever, like that fought a lot rather than just using like battle techniques and all that, and weaponry and all that. But yeah, that's crazy that Van Damme was originally gonna be the predator. Well, because I don't think I'm pretty sure Van Damme's pretty short, isn't he?
Yeah.
Because like Kevin Peter Hall, he's 7'4", so that dude was he was gigantic. But yeah, that's crazy that Jean-Claude was like originally the predator. That's funny to think about.
For sure.
Well, he definitely would have played the little spider little thing.
Right.
Next to the other guy, the 7'4".
Yeah. How about you, Josh? What stands out about the first Predator film?
So I'm also technically piggybacking off what Larry said, but I'm a sucker for all things visual effects. So obviously Predator was groundbreaking. It was awesome. I remember the first time I saw I didn't see Predator till I was much older for some reason. Working at the video store, I finally rented it, and because I'd heard about it plenty of times, and I knew who Arnold Schwarzenegger was, and all that. But then at the video store, I started watching more movies, and I finally was like, I sat down and watched it, and I was like, man, that is the coolest. Like that, regardless of the total film, that thing, whatever that creature is so cool looking. And then that's when I started going down the road of like practical effects, visual effects, costume design, all that stuff. And Kevin Peter Hall, I just told you guys he was 7'4". He actually played Harry in Harry and the Hendersons as well.
Nice.
And then he was supposed, before he passed away, he was supposed to be the Super Shredder in Secret of the Ooze, which is one of my all-time favorite sequels. It's one of my all-time favorite movies, especially from the 90s. But Kevin Nash, the wrestler, later replaced him as the Super Shredder. But yeah, so he already was gigantic. I think he weighed like 200 something pounds. And then they said with the suit on, he weighed over 300 pounds with that costume on, which is insane. And I mean, you can tell how much stuff is on him. They ended up like puppeteering him almost, like, so they let him wear the suit, but a lot of the scenes they have like ropes or cords or whatever to like keep him up so he doesn't like fall over or anything like that. But the visual effects team, they were actually, believe it or not, were nominated for an Academy Award that year. There was only 2 nominations. They lost. They lost to not a bad movie, but surprising. They lost to Inner Space with Martin Short and Dennis Quaid. Yeah, two nominations for visual effects. That's how far we've come, and they've.
Right.
I think the visual effects is 5 now.
Yeah.
Which I mean, every year you can't really. I was gonna say they could make it like 10, but there's not really 10 movies all the time that could be nominated for that. But anyway, so yeah, I just thought that was funny. Like there were 2 nominations, 50-50 shot, and they lost to Inner Space, which nothing against Inner Space, but it's not the Predator. I'll tell you that much. That team would go on to win an Oscar down the road in the 90s with what's that? What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams. So they did win an Oscar eventually.
Nice.
And going back to James Cameron was involved heavily because he was originally one of the directors that was supposed to do the movie, and he passed on it, scheduling or whatever. The movie was actually offered to James Cameron, Ridley Scott, Brian De Palma, Richard Donner, John Carpenter, and Rennie Harlan, even though that dude is well, we're not going to go to that, but we can tell why he didn't get to do it. But yeah, it's just great. There was all these directors that, probably at the time weren't at their peak yet, but like they were all offered the movie and they passed on it. So James Cameron obviously went on to work with Arnold Schwarzenegger anyway, regardless, a few times. So that's cool. But yeah, I think the special effects and all that stuff is really cool. And then I was going to talk about also visual effects. So the invisibility cloak, like how they made that work. I just find that stuff fascinating. So I thought I'd share. So they used a bright red suit because, normally you would use like a green suit or a blue suit or whatever. They used a bright red suit, and because the jungle was so green and so filled with green, so they went with this. And then the red was removed and then repeated with the actors using only 30% wider of a camera width. So they would combine the two together in the end, and that's what made it look like it was an invisible, like, I just think that's so cool. Like the invisibility part of the Predator is probably one of the coolest features in my opinion, just because like normally movies will go the invisible route where you just can't see them at all, or you see something, but you can like see a silhouette of the Predator, especially when it gets like attacked or, just it gets wet or something happens. Like you can see the outline of it regardless, which I think is a really cool, like, how they did that, especially for being so early on in visual effects, because Industrial Light and Magic was right in the middle of starting to launch into being part of like every movie. So they didn't work on this movie obviously, but like that technology was starting to be invented. So it's just cool to think about like how they made it work back then and how
Yeah.
cool it looks even to this day. So I'm a huge sucker. I think that's why I love Predator and the Predator franchise. Like I said, going back to what Larry said, like it's just a beautiful
Mm-hmm.
creature. The design is even like the early designs are really cool. They used a few of the early designs for what they ended up with in Prey, which we'll get to later, but they brought back some of those original designs for the creature in Prey. But yeah, just really awesome visual effects, and they got an Oscar nomination, but they didn't win. Should have won, and it's a badass film. So
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I think, I mean, just rewatching it again, there's so much fun. There's so many one-liners that are in this film. Great gags. Stick around when he sticks the guy. I ain't got time to bleed, Jesse Ventura. And then he was a friend. If it bleeds, we can kill it. And then, of course, the most classic of all, get to the chopper. So amazing. And then we get a nice little play on that, spoof on that in Predator, or The Predator. But I remember there was a bit that they did on the Tonight Show. It might have been late night with Jimmy Fallon before he did the Tonight Show, but Arnold was on there and they were doing like this infomercial type gag, and they had all of these kitchen utensils, and the chopper was at the end, and Arnold was just there. He just can't focus on the one that Jimmy's talking about, because he's like, no, we got to get to the chopper. We got to get to the chopper. It was like one of the best play on jokes there. One thing I did want to bring up on this that is part of like kind of like the behind the scenes is, have you guys heard the story of where the sound came from? The Predator clicking sound?
No.
So Peter Cullen is the guy that voiced Optimus Prime back in our cartoons. They brought him in to do the sound. He actually got the idea for the sound when he was on a beach one time, and he saw a crab that had flipped over on its back, and it was like trying to like move and get flipped back over, and it was making that clicking sound, and he kind of logged that in the back of his head. It's like, that's a cool sound. I could use that sometime. So he goes in, he does all of the sound effects for this, for the Predator, and the sound guys and all the people over there are just like, this is the dumbest thing ever. Like, what is this guy doing? Like, this is awful. This is so dumb. And then they play it back with everybody, and everybody just freaks out. Like, that's just perfect. Cause it's just eerie enough. It sounds otherworldly. It was just so perfect. So I just thought that was a fun story to share.
yeah, it's awesome.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, I saw a short recently that popped up, and they were talking to him at I guess it was at a panel or something, and he was talking about it, and then he just went into it live, like there. He did the clicking.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, it's if you close your eyes, it's like you could imagine the Predator like looking right at you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so cool.
That's scary, those clicks, man.
And I think the first movie just did such a good job of telling you all this lore of this character and their practice of hunting, and what the trophies and the invisibility. It just set up all of this stuff that each of the films continue to go back to, because it's so rich. It didn't feel like it was just I think that's one of the things that makes it stand out as among a lot of those other like late 80s, early 90s action films with aliens or something, is that this one there was so much layers to the character, the mythology, and the lore that just made it that much more rich to try and come back to. And so that's kind of just something that stood out to me as well. So
Well, I wanted to go on like with the as you were saying about the trophies that they kept, because I think it was in the first one when he went into his little trophy room, and there were trophies of like, I think it was like some type of dinosaur head next to a tiger head or something like that against the wall that he was putting his new human head or something like that up against. I was like, man, this thing has been killing for all this time and just ripping out their spine and their head and taking these keepsakes and just keeping them. I'm like,
Yeah.
That
And I
is
think
like,
that's actually at the end of the second one.
Yeah,
oh,
it's
for the
Predator
second
2.
Because
one? Okay.
we end up also seeing a xenomorph there,
Okay.
and that was the
Okay. The
first
second one.
hint
All right.
that like, oh, they're in the same universe. The Alien vs
Yeah.
Predator is the same universe.
So cool though.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. But anybody have anything else to say about Predator 1? We can jump to Predator 2.
I mean, Predator 1, the original Predator, it's still 10 out of 10 for me. I just absolutely love it. I watch it at least a couple times a year. And
Yeah.
the only reason why I saw it, because I was a huge Arnie fan. So it was just like,
Mhm.
you know, every Arnold Schwarzenegger film, I was just like, oh, I got to watch it. And then I saw this one. And, you know, me being a kid seeing this, I didn't get scared, you know, because other horror movies scared me at the time. But this one was just like I said, I was so intrigued by the look of the Predator. And I just, over time, it's just, I love the way it looks, the look of it, you know, just everything is just
Mhm.
amazing on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
hoping because John McTiernan, he did Die Hard, which obviously is another classic, but that movie is in the Library of Congress for film. So that'd be cool if like Predator one day, I mean, I don't know if it'll happen, but I think 'cause it has such a big fan following, I don't know if it would ever like make it in, just because it was, I mean, it was pretty groundbreaking, especially because we didn't have a lot of like creature features back then that were action films. So I'm hoping maybe he can get another film in the Library of Congress. That'd be pretty cool.
And it's funny you mentioned John McTiernan. So a funny fun fact is that his Predator is not so much in some ways connected to Die Hard series and also to the Commando series. I don't know if y'all have heard this, but they're in Valverde in the Predator, and then in Commando they also mention Valverde, and then in Die Hard 2, the guy that they're trying to, I guess, help escape, the general or whatever, he's from Valverde. So all three of those films have that made up Valverde.
Wow.
So if you go back and watch, like,
I
know,
actually didn't hear that.
Yeah, it's
didn't
crazy.
know that. New wrinkles in the brain.
That's really cool.
Dude, Commando is one of my like guilty pleasures, man. Like that movie is so awesome.
Especially when that car hits that barricade.
Yeah.
And you see somebody's head pop off. If you really look at it, you can see the dummy's head pop off.
Yeah.
If you really look at it, man.
Yeah. And you can see all of the extras when he's throwing grenades in the final attack on the mansion. You see the boards throwing people in the air.
It's great.
Even try
it is crazy. It's a great movie, man. I haven't watched that in a while. I'm gonna have to watch that again.
We gotta do a watch along.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. I'm down.
Yeah, the other funny, awesome. Not to go too much on a tangent for Commando. I mean, it's
all
just
good. Yeah, go for it.
It's what was I gonna say? Now for that one, also like the parts where the car is all damaged and everything. And then the next scene is like completely fine, like the car that he flips over. Exactly. It's like perfectly fine.
I knew it wasn't just me.
And for the Michael fans, Dick Warlock is actually a police officer in that film.
Yeah,
he's he gets knocked down at the mall. She gets knocked down by Ray Don Chon, and she's like, "Hey, lady, stop!" Like that's Dick Warlock. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. And Bill Duke is in both Predator and Commando also. Yeah. I love that. I love that film. And I think
Larry met Bill Duke at Frightmare this year. He was there.
I saw he was there. I was going to try to hit up the Q&A or the panel, but we had to leave. But
yeah, the Q&A was awesome.
It was our first time at a con, and so we were kind of dipping our toes in and not really doing everything because we kind of just wanted to not get just let's take it in and then we'll.
Well, now
we're totally in. Yeah,
that's a huge first con.
Yeah,
I mean, my first con I think I ever went to had like 100 people at it, and I was like, you could move around.
Yeah,
Frightmare, especially Friday night opening night. Frightmare is like you can't even move on the main floor, so like you better plan accordingly. I mean, you're not going to be able to. You better know exactly what you want Friday and Saturday. get in line or you're
Yeah.
gonna miss out. So
Exactly.
And to kind of go off of what you were saying, Sprang, I mean, for me, I've been to like small conventions. Coming back to going into conventions, Frightmare was my first. 2024, I started going to conventions again because it had been years since I'd been to one, or I'd been to a real one, like I'd been to like markets or something like that. But 2024, my first one was Texas Frightmare, and since 2024, I've been going ever since.
That's awesome. Very cool, man. Yeah, looking forward to meeting up there. We'll probably meet. We got to meet up some other time too, but that one we definitely have on the books for sure. Well, let's jump into Predator 2. We've got 1990s when it came out, directed by Stephen Hopkins, also written by Jim Thomas and John Thomas. We got Danny Glover, Gary Busey, Bill Paxton, and Kevin Peter Hall comes back as the Predator. It's slightly in the near future, 1997, and LA is a war zone.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. But yeah, Larry, you want to give us a little quick rundown of the Predator 2?
Yep. Predator's back, and he's wanting to stake his claim in war-torn dystopian Los Angeles. This group of cops start facing something they don't know how to deal with, and they start getting picked off one by one.
Yeah.
it's the least cheesiest. No, I'm just kidding.
That's the bad. It's not the least cheesiest.
It's the least cheesy.
But it's also not the worst cheesiest either.
No, it's
yeah.
Predator 2. I'm kidding, of course. Like it does have a lot of cheese, but like it's the best. I mean, total 80s and 90s. Like some of the people who are in it are just fantastic. Continue
for the time.
Yeah, for the time, right? 1990. So I have a couple of things I wrote down that I thought was kind of funny. So we're in war-torn Los Angeles, and you go into the police station, and they're still arresting prostitutes. We're worried about prostitution when there's a war right outside. Like, come on, guys!
Man.
You guys need to prioritize
priorities, man.
You need to prioritize where
they don't
you're
want people
focusing
having too
your
much
energy.
fun. That's why.
Yeah.
I guess not.
People are killing each other. Stop trying to sell yourself.
Crazy. The other thing that stood out to me was the otherworld life form was the name of what they called the Predator in this one. So one of the scientist guys. And if you pronounce that out loud, it's Alf.
Oh, the little alien thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
From the 80s
but it's
show.
pronounced OWLF. Alf. Just like the TV show.
Like
yes.
owl.
So, yes. Yeah.
Like the TV
But I
show.
thought that was kind of funny. I think they may have been playing on their words there.
I didn't even make that.
Yeah. Anyway, Larry, what do you think about Predator 2? Let's start with you.
So I don't care what anybody says. I know it gets a lot of grief. I love Predator 2. I mean, Predator 2 for me, where Predator is a 10, Predator 2 is like 9.5. I feel like it's right there. I mean, it's just it's such a, from the Predator being more vicious, being more blatant, being more, just even more like the look of it looks different, doesn't look the same, color scheme wise and weaponry and stuff like that. I mean, just you have the little bits of humor with Bill Paxton. I mean, he kills it in every scene that he's in, even like just regular stuff. Danny Glover,
No
I
pun
think
intended.
I think I think Danny Glover did a great job, coming off of like Lethal Weapon, showing that he can be, this tough, no nonsense cop. You know what I mean? I mean, he's tough in Lethal Weapon, but I mean, here he's just like, he's taking it to them. And then there's scenes where they talk about like all of his commendations and all the stuff he's been through. And you can tell like he's been in it, and the violence is amped up, everything is just, ramped up a lot more to 10 in this one. And that's why I like it so much. I feel like everybody in the film does a great job in their role. I mean, heck, even Gary Busey, you can't talk about Predator 2 without Gary Busey keys. You know what I mean? But yeah, for
Yep.
me,
Gary Busey is literally the gift that keeps giving.
Yeah.
like I said, I
Yeah.
mean, I
All
feel
the
like
way back to DC Cab.
yeah, but I think I just for me it's like I know it gets grief and everything, but I don't know. For me, saw it in the theater. My uncle took me when I was way too young to be watching it in the theater, and I love it. I still love it.
That's awesome. Josh, what about you?
Yeah, no, it is a really fun movie. I was kidding earlier. Like it does have some cheese moments, but I think it has to. Like I think if it was like super serious, it wouldn't be as epic. I mean, Gary Busey, he's not in it a ton, but like I wrote back and rewatched it and I forgot that he was in it, and I was like, oh hell yeah, Gary Busey, you're the man.
Yeah. He was
Well,
great in it. Yeah, for sure.
And like, I don't know whether to be like, I just saw an ad. Gary Busey just posted an ad. What was it like last week on Instagram or something? And I mean, that dude, he looks rough, and like, I hope he's okay. I would love to meet him still because like he's just awesome. But yeah, it's fun. And then obviously, it's a very important movie in film history because Bill Paxton is the only person in the trifecta that has been killed by a Terminator, a Predator, and an alien. So that's
Yeah.
really cool.
Okay.
Plus, Bill Paxton is like, I really wish he was still alive because like I thought he was fantastic in everything he did. Even his movie that he directed, like Frailty, that movie is so underrated, so good. But yeah, he's in it, really awesome. He doesn't get a lot of time in it. Um, I was reading they originally wanted to shoot it in New York City, but they couldn't because I guess it was way more expensive to film it there than LA, which is weird. I guess at the time that makes sense, but they had a whole sequence where the Predator, where they raise the skull up in the air and the lightning storm happens. That was
Yeah.
originally supposed to be on the Chrysler building, and so then that got scrapped, obviously. And then Arnold was originally supposed to be in it in some capacity, but he couldn't come to terms on money. He was probably at the time way too expensive, so they were like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, that's going to be half our budget." Same with John McTiernan. They asked him to come back to direct, but they couldn't offer him enough money. But the biggest thing that stood out to me going back and like researching for that movie was it was originally an NC-17 rating, and it was the first movie that, because they had just passed that with the MPAA to where that was a thing, and it was the first movie that got that rating. So they had to edit and cut a bunch of the movie just to get it down to an R rating. So it originally was going to be NC-17 because of the brutality,
Mhm.
the nudity, sexuality, violent. I mean, it was just like a ton of stuff, which I think a lot of it you can see on the bonus features anyway. Another fun fact, the Predator was originally going to be Steven Seagal.
Wow.
And then the director had talks with Steven Seagal, and I guess, it was whatever. And then he passed, obviously. And then they also talked to Patrick Swayze, actually, for not only the Predator role, but for the Danny Glover role. So they
Interesting.
were going to have him as the lead actor in the movie, and then that fell through. Go ahead, Larry.
Because of that, so originally the original story was going to be Dutch's brother, and that's who Swayze was going to be.
Yeah.
He was going to be
Okay.
that.
Gotcha.
And then
Yeah.
when that didn't pan out, I think Swayze got injured from Roadhouse or something like that, and that's why he wasn't able to do it. I don't know. I heard it was some sort of injury, and that's why he couldn't do it. So that's why they had to change it. And that's why they did a comic for Predator 2, it's actually Dutch's brother. And it's more kind of like the look of Arnold and stuff like that. So that comic is out there. But originally that's what the story was supposed to be. It was supposed to be Dutch's brother as the cop, and Swayze was going to play that role.
Well, in the comic books, we're actually to thank for why the movie even got greenlit in the first place, because they released the comic books after the movie, you know, a few years after the movie, and they released a whole line of comics or whatever. But they had such a big following that 20th Century Fox was finally like, all right, we'll greenlight this sequel.
That's cool.
And then they made the sequel, but they had to tweak it, of course.
Yeah.
And then there's some cool stuff, like there's a nod to the Alien franchise in the movie, like Tommy was talking about earlier. There's a wall of like trophies, if you will, of skulls and different things. And there's actually a xenomorph skull on the wall, which, you know, is really cool, especially if you go back and rewatch it now that Alien is like more popular than it ever has been. It's really cool because people are like, oh, so then they go back and watch the old Predator movies, which is fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's blown up.
Right.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then another fun fact, Gary Busey is the first person, I mean, we're only in Predator 2, but he's the first person to ever use the word predator in any of the Predator films. So obviously nobody called it the Predator in the first movie. So Gary Busey is an icon for that.
Yeah.
There's that really funny dance video, behind the scenes video with all the Predators on the ship dancing, and that's kind of become like more famous than the actual movie. But
I was gonna throw in there a little tidbit of that. All the guys that were dancing in the suits, they were all LA Lakers players. That's like they got the bunch of they got a bunch of players from the
so
Lakers
funny.
to be the because they needed tall Predators, obviously, right? So it's like it's a bunch of like it's a bunch of those players like in the suits dancing.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
I didn't know that. That's
Me
really
neither.
funny.
I didn't know that.
But no, I was just gonna say the visual effects team that worked on that was the Stan Winston studio, and they're like legendary. I mean, they worked on Jurassic Park, Terminator 2, Aliens. They've won 4 Oscars for their visual effects. So like they're no slouches, and I mean, there's some really cool practical effects in Predator 2. I think that's what my favorite part of the movie is. And Danny Glover's really, I mean, there's only been a few movies in his history where he's like the lead character, and I think he does a good job. I mean, he did some like lesser known films. I remember working at the video store and I watched him and I was like, Danny Glover doesn't get enough credit. Like, he's a good actor, but I think he always gets lumped in as like being an awesome partner in like the Lethal Weapon movies, but he's funny. He's a good actor. I really like one of my favorite scenes in Predator 2 is the chase on the buildings and Danny, and then they ends up in those like old couples like bathroom. Yeah, just like tearing up their bathroom. I went back and rewatched it, and I forgot like how funny that scene is, and the old lady comes out. But like even Danny Glover in that scene is just so funny. But really cool practical effects, fun movie. I think it gets dogged on for the wrong reasons, and people just don't understand that time period. But it's a fun sequel for sure.
Definitely.
I'd say my favorite quote from Danny Glover in this film was, "Cooperation is my middle name."
Yeah.
So great. So great. Tommy, how about you?
My favorite part in the movie is honestly at the very end of the movie when that one Predator gives him that gun from, I think it was 1719 or something like
1715. Yep.
Yeah. And how that gun plays a part in other Predator movies, like that part. When I saw it,
cool.
That was a gun that actually my mom used to do ceramics back in the day, and she made me a gun that was similar to that. And when I saw that gun, it took me to that piece that my mom made me, and I've always loved that gun. And then when I saw it in the first, or in the second one, and then when I saw it in, we'll come up to those other ones, but when I saw it in other ones, I was like, yo, that is so cool that one piece made it through, I think 3, if I'm not mistaken, but it was just a great movie. And like y'all said, the to me, the action in it, the gore in it, like when he took out King Willie, when King Willie was in the alley. I don't know why he thought he had his little knife from his cane, that he really thought something invisible that you can't see, and now he's walking towards you, and now you can see him walking towards you, and you think this little thing that you got is gonna kill him. Come on. But at least he tried.
Yeah.
At least he tried to take him out. But there's just the violence in it and how vicious that predator was, because he didn't care about at that time he really wasn't picking to see who was a person who was gonna attack somebody. He was just pretty much taking out everybody who was around. If you had a gun on you, couldn't even be doing nothing with it. It's just if you had it on you, that predator was gonna come and get you. You wasn't even trying to be going against the predator. And that's what I liked about it, because he was just like, hey, I'm just down here taking out everybody, getting as many souvenirs that I can get, and then I'm gonna bounce out here and go home.
Yeah.
I really love that movie. That, and plus Danny Glover getting out of there, because I didn't think that he was gonna get out at the very end when they were blasting off to go to wherever that they were gonna go to next. But yeah, man, that one was a really sick movie, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he was the first one to actually kill a predator.
Yeah,
because Arnie technically didn't kill the predator, like he blew himself up. So at that point, it's like he had, one just a notch over Arnie for that.
Right.
I mean,
right, that is true. That's a very valid point.
And I read up, and that's why that kind of council of predators like gave him the gun, because it was basically an honor that he won against the predators. So they gave him the gun to basically say, hey, this is your trophy for winning that battle.
That makes
and
sense.
kind of returning it back to the humans. So yeah.
Good point, man. Good point.
One of the things I wanted to bring up was just Larry, you mentioned it, but the upgraded weapons, like the weapons kind of morphed from the first movie. So we got collapsing spear, we've got the blade discs in this one, and then the scanner. He was like cycling through different ways of scanning instead of just the heat signature. So I thought that was cool, and I'm with you, Tommy. I think the ending is like, it's the perfect ending for Predator 2 to have all those predators walk in and you're like, wait, what? Like,
yeah,
this is going to be amazing. Predator 3 is just going to be a no holds barred, just all the predators in the world. We're going to go after them. Yeah. We didn't get that movie yet, but yeah, I thought that was cool. And I did have it highlighted that the flintlock pistol being important to the story. And we'll get to more of that later too.
Yes.
Good stuff.
I do have to say, just to interject real quick.
Well, yeah, go for it.
I do have to say, and when you do see all those predators come out, and then he drops the smart disc, and he's like, okay, who's next? Like, I just love, because I love that line.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well,
yeah.
I was like, okay, who's next? I just love that little.
Yeah, absolutely. Just showing how awesome, like how confident and strong that he is as a character, for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty gangster for sure.
I will say we did get Alien vs. Predator 2004 and AVP 2 in 2007, but the proper Predator sequel took us 20 years to get. From 1990, I'm sure walking out of the theater, you were like, Larry, you were probably like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for Predator 3. This is going to be so amazing. And it didn't show up. And then we get to Predators, 2010, directed by Nimrod Antal, who did Vacancy, I recognized from his filmography. Retribution, he did a couple years ago with Liam Neeson. And then he did a couple Stranger Things episode that same year. But I didn't recognize a whole bunch of his other stuff. But that's kind of where he's from. It was written by, I'm guessing Jim Thomas gets in on the writing on this because he probably created the kind of the story or whatever from the first movie, but he's in there as a writer with Michael Finch and Alex Litvak. And then this one stars Adrian Brody, Lawrence Fishburne, Mahershala Ali, I forgot he was in this. Danny Trejo is in this. Topher Grace is in this. Walton Goggins is in this. It's like we just get all of these great actors somewhat before they are known, like commonplace. And so that was just really fun to watch this and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're in this. But I thought this was a really great kind of opening, and it kind of throws you off a little bit because you're thinking that it's going to be a similar kind of setup as the other two. We're on Earth, and we're going to fight a predator, and they kind of flip the script on that. So I thought that was cool to this. But Larry, take it away. Give us a little quick synopsis.
Warriors from that you don't know each other. They basically get dropped on this unfamiliar planet, almost jungle-like, where they land, and there you would think all these different people were hunting. They're actually being hunted by not necessarily the predator, but something similar to the predator.
Yes. Tommy, how about you go first on this one? What's your big takeaway from Predators?
My big takeaway from Predators is, man, to me, you really got to work as a team. Once you figure out what it is that you're up against, like, can't one person do anything on their own? Like you, even when they found Lawrence Fishburne found them, like, he had his motives in his head of what he was gonna do. He was just trying to take all of their stuff so he can kill other predators who come. Plus, he was half out of his mind anyway. So, and plus all of the wasn't the violence and anything like that. It was just how the predator took out everybody one by one. It wasn't like he wasn't taking people out in groups. It was like, okay, I'm taking Marishula out. I'm taking this person out. If this person's threatening, I'm taking that person out. And couldn't nobody really hurt that guy until Adrian Brody, I think, got to him or something like that. And with that, him and and the forget his name, the dude with the Yakuza guy.
Yeah.
Him, when he was fighting the Predator. I was hoping that he was gonna take him out with that sword, but when he died, I was like, man, I really wanted him to live because he was like one of my favorite guys because he didn't say much. He was just really about business. Even when he found out they were in a whole nother planet, when they came across the valley and they saw the different moons and planets, and they knew that pretty much they were screwed at that point. And then when they saw all of these other little pods that they were in, and they saw these everywhere, and then they really noticed that it wasn't just them, that something's been down here hunting for a long time. And then when it finally clicked in Adrian Brody's head, when he finally told everybody that we're being hunted, the whole thing shifted at that point, because everybody was like, okay, we're being hunted, we need to work together. But them working together still got them killed anyway, because if you're going to be aggressive, this thing's going to take you out one by one, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Not a thing. There's traps that you can do, but this dude seems like he can heal himself. He can do all type of medical stuff, like a SEAL Team 6 guy or something like that. He can do all types of stuff. And I just loved how the Predator got to be more futuristic, like with his helmet and stuff, with that thing on his shoulder, when he doesn't even have to really think about anything. It's looking for you and stuff like that, and he's over here looking at somebody else. So this Predator was really cool with how futuristic he was, and I really like how meticulous he was in getting everybody. He just wasn't out to get everybody at one time. He really wanted this to be a for real hunt, like somebody was out here hunting deer or hunting pigs or something like that. He wanted it to be like that, in that fashion. And that's why I really love this movie, because of the way he acted, and his intent was very clear from the beginning on what he was going to do. Even when Adrian Brody found out, he still couldn't do anything about it, because he was that much stronger than him.
Yeah, absolutely. How about you, Larry? What stands out to you about Predators?
For this one, I really, well, first and foremost, the fact that it was presented or produced by Robert Rodriguez. Just to kind of
Yes.
go a little off on a tangent. Originally, he wrote a Predator 3 script, and his script originally had Dutch and Harrigan, where they were going to be basically kidnapped or captured by the Predators and put on the Predator homeworld to fight in a sort of arena sort of thing.
Okay.
So when I actually saw the movie, I was like, oh, I can see those elements with them throwing, these warriors on this planet, and they were getting hunted. So you can kind of see they might have taken a little bit from that script, but the takeaways is I thought everybody did a great job. I think I can see that Royce, or that's his name in the movie, Adrian Brody's character, he was trying to be Arnie, a little bit. That was probably the only thing that I was kind of like, he was making up that really trying to be a growly voice. I thought that didn't really work for me, but everybody else was great. Walter Goggins was great. Danny Trejo, just, I liked Hanzo. I to go off what Tommy was saying, I wish he would have survived because, I just liked that character. Even I can't recall her name right now, but, the sniper, female, the sniper.
Oh, yeah.
I thought she was really good. I'm glad that she survived. And then just the difference in the Predators. Again, I like the fact that they gave us something different. And again, or when you see at the end, there's a twist. They actually have a regular Predator strung up, like,
Yeah.
not to mention going back to like these Predators, their tactics were like they used Danny Trejo's dead body to try to lure them in.
Yeah.
They had the Predator, not the Predator dogs or the things that would hunt them.
Yeah.
The weaponry, stuff like that. Like, just, it was all around. I really, really enjoyed the film. Even with Lawrence Fishburne being like kind of crazy and out there and wanting to help them, but only to like get their stuff. I thought that was really cool. The visual effects were great. I mean, if I would say this one isn't lower on the bar for me, it's probably like around an 8. I'd give it about an 8.5, but I really, really dig it. I think they did a really good job with it. And pretty much I like the ending where they kind of, it's them two, and then you see more pods are coming down. So it made me want to like, oh man, what's going to happen next? But sadly we didn't get, continuation of that, which I thought was a bummer.
Yeah, for sure. I think I had a lot of that stuff on my list too, like the Predator dogs, the fact that they're using the original Predator as bait for them. Like, all this stuff was really super cool. One of the other things I like too is I like it when they tie things back to the overall storyline, so you kind of see that it's connected, because she starts talking about the Guatemala. Like, I know about this because it's like this mythology that she grew up knowing about in Guatemala. So she's kind of retelling the events of the first movie somewhat to the team, to like, oh, we're in trouble now, guys. So yeah, I thought that was cool. I did call out the Robert Rodriguez, which as soon as I saw that, I was like, I bet Danny Trejo's in this, and of course he shows up so perfect. The other thing too is that Nimrod Antal, who also directed this, also directed Machete with Danny Trejo. So they kind of work together again. So that's pretty awesome. All right, Josh, your turn, bud. What you got for Predators?
So
sorry. One more quick thing.
Yeah. Sure.
I don't know if you guys remember the trailer for this. I wanted to try to find it, and I didn't have time to find it. But the original trailer for this had Adrian Brody standing there and had like 10 or 20 like of those like Predator sight lights on it. And so it kind of set up the stage that like, oh, this is going to be crazy. And then you get to the movie and there's only 3 of them, and I was let down a little bit. I was like, oh, they tricked us.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. I didn't want to bring that up
for that.
I was let down, but at the same time, that scene where he lets the Predator off the thing and helps him, that scene, rewatching it now, I was like, that's actually pretty bad. That's a cool freaking scene right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it would have been awesome if it was just like an epic battle royale. Also going back to the callbacks to earlier Predator movies, the hunting dogs in Predators, they were one of the trophies on the wall on Predator 2. So
Okay.
that was a callback to those
Nice.
in Predator 2, which was really cool. But yeah, no, you guys kind of covered most of the important stuff on this one. Going back to what Larry was talking about, this movie had been in the works as a Predator 3 for quite some time. Rodriguez started working on the script when he was working on Desperado, believe it or not, in '94. He had an early draft of it, and he kept taking it to 20th Century Fox. They just kept, kind of not agreeing on everything and pushing it to the side. And then one of my good friends, CJ, he's a big YouTuber, Sidekick Inc. He's like a huge channel, but he lives in Austin. My dad lives in Austin, and Robert Rodriguez lives in Austin, and his studio's there, all that stuff. CJ got invited to Robert Rodriguez's compound last year. You can go watch it on his YouTube channel, but he did a performance with his band Chingon or El Chingon, and then his daughter is a singer. She's fantastic. I've been chatting with her on Instagram. She's really sweet, but he told CJ at a couple of the screenings that CJ went, because he hosts these movies at the Paramount Theater in Austin every year in the summer, and he's there in person and he like presents them.
That's
and
cool.
He usually hangs out with people outside of the theater. So if you ever want to meet Robert Rodriguez, that's like your best shot.
Right. There's another road trip, guys.
Yeah. So CJ, well, give me an excuse to see my dad too, but CJ said he was talking to Robert outside of one of the showings or something about his original like Predator 3 script. And I guess he had the stuff Larry said about like bringing Dutch back and all that. But then another draft, he actually had Lawrence Fishburne as like the Dutch character in Predators. And then like that one obviously got scrapped as well. And I think it's crazy. I read that Lawrence Fishburne for this movie, he was only on set for 2 days. That's it.
That's it.
And 2 days. That's how much of a professional he is. So he like came in, did his crazy performance 2 days on a big set, and then he was like, "I'm out. I'm Morpheus." Bye. And he just disappeared. Yeah, it's freaking crazy. But yeah. So you guys covered a lot of the cool stuff. I think it is cool. Adrian Brody. He's a 2-time Oscar winner, but I think we like don't appreciate how much he puts into his performances. Like
I can agree with
for this
that.
movie, I mean, he's not a big guy per se, but for this film he put on like 25 pounds of muscle for this movie, and I mean it compared to what he normally looks like, you're like, oh, you can't really tell, but like that's a lot of muscle, like. That's crazy.
That was one of the things when I saw him go to the vest or whatever. Like I was like, wow, man, he really bulked up for this one, because I mean, you see like the other films he's been in, like the indie stuff, and he's like real scrawny. But in this one, you could tell he put in the work. Like he was like, really like built and shredded for this film.
Well, and you can't really see it really well until that scene where he's like shirtless and like the fire, like he's sweating really bad, because like for some reason sweat just like makes you also look more muscular, but like he just looks huge in the end of those scenes. But yeah, it's crazy. And then just a funny little tidbit about Danny Trejo's character. So Danny got an early version he got the script, and there was a character named Cuchillo who he played. And it said literally on the script that was sent out to every actor or whatever, it said, looking for someone who looks like Danny Trejo. So Danny's good friends with Robert Rodriguez, who produced it. So he like called him and he was like, hey man, it says that you're looking for someone who looks like Danny Trejo. He's like, well, guess what? I look like Danny Trejo. so
That's
he
hilarious.
got cast in the movie.
Wow.
That's
which is super
hilarious.
funny. So
Yeah.
Why?
but
Go straight to the
real
source.
quick, I got to talk about the reason that I love these Predator movies is like the people who bring the Predators to life. So this movie had a couple of big time actors who are character actors, who brought there was two different Predators they brought to life. So Cary Jones was the tracker Predator. He was the Black Chrysanthemum in Book of Boba Fett. He's a Wookiee in Book of Boba Fett. He's also in the Creepshow TV series. He played the monster, Scarecrow, and the Dejane or whatever. He's also been on like the Teen Wolf TV series, and he's played a bunch of creatures. I think he was can't remember for sure, but I think he was on what was that movie or that TV show on HBO a few years ago with it was based on Lovecraft
Oh yeah, Lovecraft
Country.
Country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he was a creature in that show as well.
Nice.
So yeah, Cary Jones was a big one. And then Derek Mears actually, who was Jason in the remake of Friday the 13th.
Okay.
He's also worked with Robert Rodriguez. He was in Lita Battle Angel. He played
Nice.
Romo. But he was also Swamp Thing on the TV series or Swamp Thing, but big dude. I've met Derek Mears before. He's super tall. But like really cool. I love hearing like stories from the people who like actually played the Predator, and like you can tell that they're obviously big. So I think that's really cool. And then also just a real quick like fun fact about Hanzo, that I wouldn't have known if I didn't read about it. So his lore is based off of like samurai lore, which is really cool. And I've always been intrigued by samurai stuff in general. So in the movie, he's missing two fingers and on his left hand. And the Yakuza used to cut the fingers starting from the left pinky over. And so that was supposed to like represent like when he's fighting the Predator and Predators. Like that's kind of a cool, like I would have never known that if I didn't read about it. But yeah, so if they cut from the left pinky over, and then that gives them vitriol controlling the Japanese sword. So like it's really, I just thought that was really cool. So it kind of impairs them, but like it's kind of a cool like, oh, the Yakuza are involved somehow, which is really cool. So I just thought that was really fun. But yeah, Predators, going back and rewatching it, I forgot how fun that was. Even my wife, she like woke up mid sleep and she'd seen it before, but she came out and she was like, is that Walton Goggins? Because we love Walton Goggins. And I was like, I forgot he was in this damn movie. Mahershala. I mean, if you take if you film that movie today, the budget would have been huge because they're all huge now. They're all winning Oscars and Emmys and But yeah, absolutely. It's an awesome cast, very fun movie. But like you said earlier, I think it would have been cool if we got what the trailer was trying to tease. Like that would have been a pretty epic. Whatever they would have done with it would have been pretty epic. So
yeah. That's awesome, man. Yeah, very good stuff. Thanks for all that. I love that the creature actors and all that stuff. One thing I did want to mention is you mentioned Robert Rodriguez, and so one of my favorite movies of his is Once Upon a Time in Mexico, which is the third in the trilogy of the Mariachi. El Mariachi was his first, like, it wasn't even a student film. I just saw on Instagram this week that he actually did that as like he wanted to do a straight to DVD action film so he could get money to make two more, so he could make that money to then like make his first film, like to like promote as his first film, but he was trying to do it like secretly. And he ended up getting basically people loving El Mariachi, that like it got him an American, contract deal before he was ready for it, but that's what kind of how he got to start. But at the end on the DVD bonus features for Once Upon a Time in Mexico, he teaches you how to make the dish that Johnny Depp's character eats in every restaurant that he goes, and he actually kills the cook because it's too good. So he teaches you how to make that, and he's like, so I actually that got me into cooking. So now I do most of the cooking at our house
Nice.
because I'm always like I want to make something good and tasty, and I was like followed the instructions that he told us, and it was like this is amazing. But it's called POPpaGoss. First time I went to Austin, we went to a place called the Oasis, which is a pretty cool restaurant on the side of like this kind of like right next to Lake Travis, and there's multiple layers. So when you sit outside, you can just look over the amazing lake there. And they actually have quesadillas pibil on the menu, and I was like, I bet that's because of Rodriguez. I wonder if he's back there making it for everybody. No, but that would be a fun trip though for sure.
Have any of you read his that first book that he put out? Like how I made my movie with $5,700 or whatever. You guys ever read that book?
No.
I haven't finished it. I read like half of it, but yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's like about how he started getting into making his first movie, but he had like no money, and he tells you how he like kind of got into Hollywood.
That's cool.
One more thing about Austin, really quick.
Yeah.
When I get there, please take me to Rudy's Barbecue, please. Please and thank you.
Austin
Tommy.
has some great food.
Tommy,
Yes, sir.
there's a lot better places than Rudy's in Austin.
Right
So
here, Rudy's. Really?
No, there's like
I
mean, there's
Rudy's.
Rudy's is
no,
good.
Rudy's
Rudy's is good.
but there's like every corner there. I mean, just where my dad lives on the outskirts of Austin, when I go visit, he takes me out to eat, and I'm like, I can't even name one place that's been like. There's a good burger place. There's a good dessert place. There's a good place where you can just get drinks and chill out on the water.
Austin might have came up since I've been there.
No, one of these days we'll all have to go. We'll all have to meet up. My dad, he has a nice house, but we should all just go out and.
I mean, not to mention like Lockhart, which is not too far from Austin. That place is like famous for its barbecue.
Yeah,
Goodness,
just so much good food. Well, then when you get downtown Austin, like the food trucks and tacos galore, and then these crave.
If you do get to go to,
I'm gonna go to Trudy's
Pizza
Mexican restaurant, and Round Rock Donuts. Those are my two requests right there.
Round Rock, yeah.
And if you go to
Round Rock's pretty awesome.
If you do end up going to getting to go to Frightmare, we'll have to go to Hard 8.
Yeah,
that's some good, really good barbecue also.
Yeah. I'm always down for some good.
And that's something that barbecue. Like me and my buddy, when we go every year to Frightmare, since we discovered Hard 8, we've been going. We go every year.
Yummy.
We go on Saturday, like after the day at the con. We have our routine. We go Hard 8 after the show, and then after that we just kind of like chill out. Last year we actually mingled some more, because the hotel that we stayed at had a lot of the vendors and a lot of the artists that we are fans of. So we were down there having a few drinks at the bar, and we started talking with the bartenders, and then all of a sudden we saw all of our artists, like favorite artists, walking in.
That's amazing.
And we all just hung out the rest of the night. It was crazy.
Man, that's what I want to do more of at Frightmare, because usually when I go, I'm stuck like waiting in an autograph line all day, waiting in a vendor. Like I don't get to do the Q&As like I love, and I don't get to do like I either have a photo op or an autograph or whatever. So I think next year, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to make it, but I want to do more of the like fun other activities rather than just completely getting autos all the time.
Yeah, that's why me and my buddy we try to knock out all of our main autographs on Friday, and then just Saturday it's like, okay, kind of walk around, check everything out, check out the panels, and then that's kind of like our more chill day. And then Sunday, that's kind of when I do most of my shopping for stuff, because it's like it's not as crazy. And if I have any autographs that I need to like finish off, like Sunday's the day where it's like, okay, check out the lines and stuff like that. And so yeah, that's right now I'm hoping I'm kind of curious to see who else they're going to bring for the 20th anniversary. So.
Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah.
go pretty big. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I highly doubt. My fingers have been crossed since I've been alive, but Jamie Lee Curtis, but
This is for
she's not.
Frightmare?
I don't think she's ever gonna do anything. So
This is
I
for
wish.
Frightmare that you're talking about?
she
Yeah,
is
it's the
getting
20th
old. She is
anniversary.
getting older, so maybe she'll be like, I probably should interact with my fans more.
Well, she
But
went to.
I'm not counting on it.
Well, she went to what was it? H45, right?
She went to she did sneak in at the end, I heard. But I don't think she was like an official.
Yeah.
She did show up. The last one that she like stayed the whole weekend was Halloween 25 was the last one she like, and she normally only does charity autographs. Like she does private signings, but one can hope. We'll see. I'm sure they'll bring back some of the classics. I think Elvira is going to be there this year because she's been doing nothing but cons. I'm pretty sure they'll bring back John Carpenter because he just signed a huge contract to do cons until 2026 or the end of 2027, I think. These are just guesses, but how I know that they'll bring back all the people who have made Frightmare what it is.
Yeah.
I'm actually the one I'm hoping for the most because his health is getting really bad is Tim Curry. I have his autograph.
Man,
but
I would love to meet him.
Yeah, I have his autograph, but I've never met him in person. So I just would love to like thank him for just being such an awesome like piece of film. So
did you see him do his live signing yesterday on
on Whatnot?
OC? Yeah.
He's an official signer for them.
Yeah.
So like I kind of feel bad because they make him like sit there in a hotel and he has to take breaks a lot because I mean his health is just so bad.
Yeah, his health is bad. But he was really kind though.
Oh no, he's really nice. Like he fights through it, but I mean I can't wait too much longer because I'm not saying he's gonna pass, but he's gonna get to where he can't even like sign anymore.
Exactly. He's not gonna probably want to keep on signing.
It's like it's like Clive Barker. I'm glad I met him
Clive
when
Barker,
I did.
Yeah.
I'm glad I met him when I did because
the same way.
Yeah, his health is like on the decline, like really hardcore.
He actually retired from conventions. His last convention, well, for right now, Frightmare could theoretically announce the final appearance of Clive Barker if they wanted to. But he did say, I think it was Scarefest last year was his last. That was his last convention appearance because he's going to focus on writing and his health. So, but anyway, back to the podcast. We digress.
Back to the podcast.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
We got to do a whole episode on conventions. So
yes,
I'm down.
You guys still good on time? We've got 2 more movies to talk through.
I'm great, bro.
Okay. All right.
Planned.
So let's get to The Predator, 2018, directed by Shane Black, writers Fred Decker, Shane Black, and then Jim Thomas as well. Stars a bunch of kind of like the actors that we've seen in a lot of other things now. Boyd Holbrook, Trevante Rhodes, Jacob Tremblay, Sterling K. Brown, Olivia Munn, Alfie Allen, Theon from Game of Thrones, Thomas Jane, Keegan-Michael Key, Jake Busey, Yvonne Strahovski. I know her from things like Dexter, but also she's been in Handmaid's Tale. Jacob Tremblay, just coming off of his Oscar win, is in The Predator 2018. I
hate that I hate that Tremblay is in this because like I do love. Well, my son loves Luca, and he's the voice of Luca. But yeah,
you probably hear that voice a whole lot, huh?
I hate it.
Let's have Larry give us a little quick synopsis, and then we're going to go to you first, Josh.
Okay, The Predator, or Iron Predator, as I like to call it. A young boy triggers the universe's most lethal hunters to return to Earth, and it's up to a ragtag ex-soldiers to stop them.
That's it.
Yep.
Nailed it. All right, Josh, your turn.
All right. Let's get
Sounds
this
Is your
one
head
out
in
of
your
the
don't even
way.
hands
want to talk
because
about
it's so
that, but
bad?
he's holding his head.
Let's get this one out of the well, first off, I don't know why, but I cannot stand Olivia Munn. So I knew right when the trailer came out, I was like, man, this movie's gonna be dog poopies. But anyway, that's another whole episode. So anyway, we have the amazing Shane Black, who should have knocked this movie out of the park. Because he was in the original, so he should have been like, I know what works and I know what doesn't work. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you that's not what happened. So he directed a movie called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr., which is fantastic. He did a movie called The Nice Guys with Russell Crowe and the America's Sweetheart, Ryan Gosling, which is fantastic. He did Iron Man 3, which is not very good, but it's got some
It's a
fun
movie.
parts. But his screenplay, I mean, he wrote The Monster Squad, which is like a huge cult following. He wrote The Last Boy Scout with Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans, which is a fantastic film if you've never seen it. He wrote The Long Kiss Goodnight, which is a really fun one as well. And The Last Action Hero, even though it's cheesy, it's very fun. So, and the Lethal Weapon movies. He wrote he created the Lethal Weapon movies. So we can't really crap on him completely, but we're about to. So just prep up. So, good cast, not a terrible cast besides Olivia Munn. Boyd Holbrook, really good actor. I really like Jacob Tremblay, Keegan-Michael Key. I've been a huge fan of since Mad TV. I mean, I used to watch Mad TV all the time. Sterling K. Brown obviously became a huge actor. And then Jake Busey actually plays the son of Peter Keyes, who is the character played by Gary, his father in real life, in Predator 2, which is a fun throwback. So
Yeah.
that part's cool. Shane Black originally was trying to do a complete reboot, and instead they kept pushing it along, changing the script, doing all that, and so we got what we got, which was I'm gonna say that is what the huge cause was for why the movie didn't do so well, but I think there's just too many things to name why it didn't do so well. This was a fun fact I read. Thomas Jane, so his character in the movie has Tourette's, which I didn't even realize because that's not really stated, I guess. But Shane Black apparently has Tourette's in real life. So I didn't know that. So he based the Thomas Jane character a lot on himself, which is cool. Benicio del Toro was originally supposed to be the main character in the film, and he was replaced last minute due to scheduling conflicts. We'll call it scheduling conflicts. He probably was, he's a veteran and he's an Oscar nominee. So he was like, I'm going to do a hard pass. So this movie, we're not saying bad things because it's bad. The facts are it's the lowest box office weekend for 4,000 plus screens of all time. It debuted with $24 million opening weekend. Second place is the incredible film starring Tom Cruise, The Mummy. That one debuted with $31 million.
Wow.
So those two are the top two movies to be on 4,000 screens that had the lowest box office intake. So anyway, good things about the Predator. The actor who plays the Predator is Brian A. Prince. He's mostly a stunt performer. He's worked on Black Panther, Captain America: Civil War. Fantastic character actor. He's probably the one positive thing, and the fact that the visual effects are still practical for the most part, and they're really cool. There's some cool weaponry. But it's just the plot, the way it comes together, the direction, I guess, of the actors was just not there. And it's really sad because, I mean, Shane Black is actually a very talented writer, and I think he's directed some great films. So I'm not quite sure where the, you know, negativity happened, where it like threw it off track. But yeah, just not executed very well. But it has a couple of fun parts. I will say that practical effects are great. And it is another Predator movie. We hadn't had one in a while, so I
Yeah.
guess we can be thankful for what we get. So that's about all I can say about the Predator for right now.
Larry, I'm gonna let you go next because that response was great. No, we don't have to be thankful for this garbage.
Yeah. No, Josh was saying we're not going to talk bad. I'm going to talk nothing but bad about this film. This film is horrible. I remember being excited for it, going to the theater. You know, at the time, me and my wife were dating. I dragged her to go see this movie because I was so excited. Yeah, this train wreck was like, I was like, what is this? Like, what is this? Like, what is this that I'm watching right now? I mean, the guy Holbrook, he plays the same character he did in Logan. I thought Thomas Jane, of all people, I felt should have been the main character. Like, without the Tourette's thing, but I like him as an actor. He's good as Punisher. I would have liked to have him be he would have been a really good, solid main leading person or leading actor for this film. Everybody else, it was like, you know, didn't really connect with them. I felt he was trying way too hard to make it have that camaraderie from the original Predator, which the jokes were kind of fell flat. Like Josh said, when I saw Munn was going to be in it, I was like, okay, I was really hesitant. But again, as I was a huge Predator fan, I was like, okay, maybe it won't be as bad as I think, and it was pretty bad. And as I mentioned previously, Iron Predator, that ending, I'm like, clearly he was trying to do something based off of Iron Man 3. I mean, what else can I say about it other than, like, can I say anything good about it? The only things that I did like about it were, I did like Jake Busey coming back and him being, you know, Peter Keyes' son. Cool. I thought that was a cool callback. And then the other thing, within that same sequence, you see like stuff from previous films, like artifacts, like, or weapons that they had. I mean, you even see a callback to the AVP films that the girl got with the xenomorph like tail into a spear, where that they makeshift into a spear. So I like those things. I thought that was really cool. The design of the Predator, unfortunately, I felt like it looked really weird, and come to find out, it's because like the mask and mandibles, it's too plasticky, and so it made it seem like way too bigger than what it was supposed to be. And this might be a nitpick thing, but the roar was different. So I'm crazy in the sense that, like, if you watch the first Predator, second Predator, even Predators where they have different ones, you still get that roar, that roar that the Predator does when he like screams. This one, it was just like it was off. Like, it just was different. Our villain kills himself in a blink and you miss it moment, which I thought was like, what is this? Like, that makes no sense to me. And even then, I looked at my wife and I was like, wait, did that just happen? And he kills himself? Like, really? This guy's supposed to be, they were playing him up to be like this really like badass villain, right? And he kills himself. I'm like, seriously? I don't know. It's just, for me, there's so much about it that I dislike. If it's maybe a 2. I give it a 2 out of 10. Like, maybe that, maybe less. I mean, there's other films out there that I hate more than this one, but this one I really was so disappointed. Like, I wish I could have asked for my money back, you know? But yeah.
Yep.
Sorry I brought the mood down, guys, with that. But...
Nah, man, no, you did.
Hey,
You're
brother,
good.
hey, it's finna come down lower, baby.
No,
Go for it, Tommy.
I'm just a too nice. My nature is too nice. Even when stuff is like, even when I'm standing in fecal matter, it's like I still am like, oh, you know what? It's
This
gonna
ain't
be a
half
beautiful
bad.
day. It's gonna be a beautiful day. Damn you, Shane Black.
All right, Tommy, your turn. Let's hear
Okay, man. This movie was all right. You know, it was pretty much more like the funny type Predator type movie, because you had the dude with Tourette's saying all this outlandish stuff, and then you have Keegan Michael Key trying to make all the jokes, and then you have the main guy who wants to be Billy Badass, and it's just a really corny Predator movie to me, honestly, man, because I really don't really understand, like, why do we got to be going through this whole thing with this like 10-year-old kid? We all know the Predator not finna kill no 10-year-old kid or something like that. Honestly, me, I haven't seen it for a while, and I went back this week and re-watched it, because I was like, all right, let me re-watch this thing just to see if maybe I see something a little bit different from when I saw it from the first time that I saw it. And I wish I didn't even watch it this time, because I was
it.
right when I was thinking about it in the first place. So I was like, well, wasted what, an hour 47 minutes. I ain't never gonna get back, man. But the movie was it 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 was trash. Honestly,
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
it was trash. The acting was trash. I think they tried to make it too funny and not and took away all of the action aspects, and even the way the Predator looked, even the way he like took out people, it seemed different. I just really didn't like it. It really just, it was a mess. Like all around, just a mess. Somebody made some really horrible decisions.
They should have just made like Predator gets a 9 to 5 job. That would have been at least entertaining. I don't.
Yeah, for
Working
sure.
at Hollywood Video or something like that.
Yeah.
No, I
Working
think
at the DMV.
I will say this. I did like Thomas Jane and
Keenan
Yeah, they're
Michael
Keegan
Kane.
their
Michael Key.
partners.
I
Yeah.
like their camaraderie. I thought they were the shining part. Although I wish
Yeah.
Thomas Jane would have played it straight. But I
Yeah.
did like once they right before they got killed, I like how they kind of got serious. It became a serious
Oh,
moment. I was like,
yeah.
wow, this is pretty good. Why
Yeah.
didn't we get
Right.
more of this instead of
Right.
everything being a joke? You know
Everything
what I mean?
was a joke.
And I mean,
Yeah.
I can go into other stuff like for other films, like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and stuff. But no, I think they did a good job between them once it got serious, and then
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's probably like the only shining moment I would say, other than the effects were okay for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
weren't bad.
that Predator suit at the end looked like garbage. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
They should have just done AVP 3. God, freaking. If you're just
Yeah.
gonna be throwing money out, I mean, you might as well just be like, all right, Alien vs Predator 3, and they're at Black Friday sale.
Yeah, I know, right? It's
Because the
like,
movie's already in the discount bin.
Yeah, I mean, anything.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to say that. Like I said earlier, like you would think Shane Black of all people would know. Like you were literally you were in the original Predator. You know what was like. You know what fans like, and you know what fans don't like. Now, if studios interfered, I totally get that. I know that happens a lot. But this, I don't feel like that happened. I think he just was like, no, this seems good. We got talented actors. They'll carry the movie. It's fine. And he's like, he put out what he put out. So it's unfortunate. And I wish we would have got a better movie. But thankfully, the next movie we're going to talk about is going to clean all that up.
You
So.
got
Cleans it
that
all right up.
Facts, my
Real
bro.
quick. Real quick. I got 3 quotes I got to say that stood out to me. One was "Get to the choppers." Super cheesy. They have to go ride the motorcycle choppers. Next
Yeah.
one is Olivia Munn says he has an exoskeleton under his skin. That doesn't make it an exoskeleton anymore, for one. And then the last one is, "Oh, we're gonna dance. I got my shoes all picked out." Now that one I think is kind of funny. I think Sterling K. Brown said that one, but Sterling K. Brown in this, he's a great actor. In this one,
Oh,
he is
yeah.
just like, he is just playing the villain, like just
Yeah.
all too much, which is, that's the director's job, is to get the performance that he wants out of his actors. That's what Shane Black wanted him to do. He did what the director asked him to do, and it just, yeah, the whole
Well,
thing.
and to be fair, like Shane Black is really good at, I mean, obviously he wrote the Lethal Weapon dialogue.
Yeah.
I mean, The Nice Guys and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang are comedic gold between all those talented actors. So like, how can you not, I get it's like a bigger franchise that you haven't worked on, but like,
Mhm.
what are you doing? This
Yeah.
should have been a walk in the park. Like the
Right.
cast you got blessed with, the budget you got blessed with. This should have been, I mean, at the worst, maybe like 60% Rotten Tomatoes. But
It's like
this is like you took Rotten Tomatoes as a whole and you smashed it. You smashed it all, Shane, and we don't forgive you for it. Larry's getting the spark out of me now. I'm really upset. So.
I love this POPpaGoss. I love it.
Man, Josh,
no.
I have not seen this side of you before, my man.
Now let's not forget the great line that Sterling K. Brown delivers when he says, "Oh, we think Predator sounds cooler." Really?
Yeah, it doesn't matter who is delivering the line. If the line is poop, it's not gonna work. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can have Morgan Freeman doing it.
I mean, yeah. Exactly, Tommy. You could have put Morgan Freeman, Denzel Washington. You could have put the most talented actors. You could have put Leo in this movie, and you still would have been able to like find a way to fail. I don't understand how that's even possible, but
yep. All right,
like,
so let's get that up.
Like I didn't even believe that what I was,
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Bad energy,
I love it. All right. We're gonna leave it behind. You ready? We're leaving it behind.
All right.
Whew, get it.
Wipe it away.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. We get to Prey 2022, directed by Dan Trachtenberg. Here's Patrick Asen, Dan Trachtenberg, and Jim Thomas is back. Stars Amber Midthunder, Coda Beavers, Dane DeLegrio, as well as others. Totally destroyed that name, but this one definitely brought the series back on track. Larry, why don't you give us a quick synopsis, and then we'll jump in.
A skilled warrior in the Comanche Nation fights to protect her tribe against one of the first highly evolved predators to land on Earth.
Nice. We just watched this today, and I mean, it's even better than what I remembered. It's so good. I think a lot of the callbacks that it plays into on the originals, really cool. The flintlock gun is back, and that's actually the character Raphael. He's the interpreter when she gets captured. Raphael Adolini. It's his flintlock gun, and he gives it to her, and then she gives it to her tribe leader at the end. And that's the gun that the predators give back to him, give back to the humans, to Danny Glover's character in Predator 2. So that's a really cool like thing. But I think even more than just the story and the cool connections, this movie is put together, is shot for shot. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. Every decision of focusing, every decision of the camera catching this branch or this footstep or this thing, everything was so particular and exact that I was just watching it, just going, this director is just a genius. He knows exactly how to lead us to anticipate what's coming and pays back in the end. Like, that was what I was blown away. The acting was great, all that stuff. Action was great. The direction of this film, just chef's kiss. The one thing I wanted to say too, before I pass it on to somebody else, is they released this in 2 different versions on Hulu. One was English speaking. The next one was dubbed in Comanche. So we had watched the English one first, and so this time I thought it'd be cool. You have to turn subtitles on, so if anybody's going to do that, to get ready for Predator Badlands that comes out this Friday, the you have to turn American subtitles on or the English subtitles on to get the English, and it's overdubbed over them speaking English in the film. So it's a little bit different than what I was expecting, but we wanted to kind of, since we were seeing it a second time, I wanted to kind of experience it using that original language, so that it felt, that kind of different vibe. So definitely worth it. But yeah, so much cool stuff to talk about this. And I'm gonna let you guys talk about it. If you guys forget anything or miss anything, I'll say it at the end. Larry, as our Predator genius and Predator guru, why don't you go first?
I mean, this one was a huge step up from the Predator. When this one was coming out, I was like, man, this can't be as, and that's the bar for me, is like, everything can't be as bad as the Predator. Like, that's how I say for any movie. Well, it can't be as bad as this. This one, it from the get-go, the trailer, I was like, okay, this is, good. I'm excited, and it's the third best Predator film in my opinion. I think everybody did a great job. The effects look amazing. The Predator looks amazing again. It's just like, yeah, they did a little bit of CG on the face, but I mean, for the most part, the costume, everything is just amazing. The weaponry, like they took it more primitive, and I really, really love that. That's the big thing for me with the Predators, is their weaponry. I just love the different tech that they have. And even with the cloaking is also, you can tell it's a little bit more primitive, whereas like anything hits it and it kind of disintegrates, and you kind of see the Predator. Amber Midthunder did an amazing job. I know people, when this was first coming out, I was like, oh, how's she gonna like take on a Predator and all this stuff? And I was like, well, they show us, and they did a really good job of it. It wasn't like she was perfect at everything. You know what I mean? Like they call, like they say, she wasn't a Mary Sue in my opinion. I think, she failed, she messed up, but she learned, and she, got better, and, she outthought the Predator, and
Smarted him.
Yeah, she outsmarted the Predator, and she got him in the end. And I just think everything in this film was really, really great. Where I give my rankings of the other two, I would say this one is a solid 9. Really right under Predator 2.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Oh, and the score is beautiful.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's so perfect. Josh, what you got?
And I get, since Larry just said the score, I'll start there. So this has a lot of like video game inspirations. So Dan Trachtenberg is a big video game gamer, and he was playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and he was like, man, this score is so beautiful. And that woman who did the score for Assassin's Creed ended up doing the score for Prey. Awesome. Her name is Sarah Schuler, I believe. But anyway, yeah, he did that. And then most of what I'm going to talk about Prey is dedicated to like the practical effects again. I was able to meet the cast from Prey at Texas Frightmare. This was 2023, so a couple years ago. And they were all super nice. It was just the main three. So Dakota Beavers, Amber, and then Dane. And Dane, I have a picture of him next to my wife, and that dude's giant. He's like 6'8". Super nice. Where he was actually a professional basketball player, and he quit doing that to be an actor. So he does acting, but even more than that, he's like, a lot of people use a stunt double a lot of times. Dane was one of the first to like, well, at least for Predator actors, like he was the first to not need a stunt double at all. So a lot of everything in the movie is all Dane doing it, wearing the suit. They condensed the suit so it wasn't as big as like back in the day when it was 300 pounds or whatever. But sweating in that foam latex, it added like 60, 70 pounds onto his already 100 or 200 whatever pounds he weighs. So Still a lot, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But he he committed to everything and did everything in the suit. And I think the face, all that stuff, like everything just looks so crisp and so awesome in this movie. There's some excellent cinematography. I don't remember who the
Yes.
cinematographer was, but like you can kind of tell that's a little bit video game inspired too. There's a lot of like wraparound shots where they're, especially the battle sequences where you're like you're in like almost first person, but not like you're behind.
Yeah.
It's almost like third person, but um just super cool. So I love the practical effects, the weapons and all that stuff. Um, Prey is actually the highest viewed premiere in Hulu history. We also have the
Wow.
pandemic to thank for that, but also like it still is ranked that even after the pandemic. So that's really impressive that so many people loved watching it. And Larry actually just sent me an Instagram post that it's coming to theaters for the first well, they had an early screening I remember hearing about, like a one night only thing in certain
Mm-hmm.
theaters, but it was very select. So this is going to be like worldwide, I think. So you can go see Prey on the big screen, which is really cool. Uh, the feral predator, the mask that he wears in it, is actually the river ghost from Predators. So that's a callback to Predators,
Nice.
which is really cool. Dan Trachtenberg was nominated for 2 Primetime Emmys for this movie for directing and for writing, which is really cool. So he's the first, director of any Predator thing that got any big time nominations. He's also he did Killer of Killers that just came out recently, and then he's also doing Badlands, which we're prepping you all for, which is cool. And then, oh yeah, and then there's another fun throwback. Naru in the movie. I think Naru is the brother.
Amber's. No, that's Amber.
Or
Yeah,
no,
Amber's
Amber.
name.
Yeah.
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 She says, do it. And that's a throwback to Arnold when he says, do it now in Predator. So that's
Nice.
a throwback to Predator 1. So a lot of cool, just like simple throwbacks. Another big thing. This is the first movie where the Predator doesn't use the iconic shoulder plasma cannon, which is really good that they didn't do that because of it being more of a period piece anyway. So
Yeah.
it's more authentic. But this is the first movie in the franchise that doesn't show that or have that in anything, which I thought was really cool. And then last thing I'll say, especially about the practical effects, the face, they had a couple of masks for Dane to wear, and they had like 27. What are they called? Like basically tiny motors in them, and so they were puppeteering the face, like the special effects team. So it's really cool to like go back and watch that because there's so many cool like facial features that, especially when he's like growling or he gets his mask knocked off or whatever. And they're controlling a lot of that. It's like there's a bunch of little tiny motors in the face to make that come to life as well as they can practically, which I think super cool. I'm a big nerd for all that. So, very fun movie. Obviously, we were able to clean our palate from Voldemort, and that's good. But yeah, I loved
Yeah.
Prey. I thought it was fantastic. I'm really hoping Badlands is as epic as Prey, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Tommy, let's hear it, bud.
Man, these two fellas right here, I mean, they just knocked it out of the park for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just batting cleanup right about now. Prey, honestly, Prey is my favorite one next to the original. Simply because of the way Nuri had to prove herself to everybody, because no one in her whole tribe thought that she should be out here hunting. She should be out there with the women gathering vegetables and cooking and, doing what typical women do in that time. And with her just pretty much going against the grain and doing what she did, ultimately saved her entire people. Because when this thing first came down, that one scene when it took out all of those buffalo, that wasn't the only thing that those predators was out there killing, especially when they see, or if the predator would have saw that they had weapons and stuff like that when they're going out doing their hunting on their own. So I really think this movie was really the best after the first one. And that dog, Sarai,
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
man,
Sorry. Yeah.
that dog, I wish I could have a dog like that. That dog seems so smart that she just did hand signals and the dog knows what to do. And man, it's just little things like that. But I really do like that predator in that one too, because he was really primitive. His little mask looked like it was made out of bone or something like that, and it wasn't made out of the metal whatever that was made out of the other helmets. And like, I really like how her wits took this predator out, who, like, this is a predator. This is what he does. Like, she didn't really start sharpening her skills like real sharp. She sharpened them as she was going along in the movie, when she attached that rope to the axle, throwing it against the tree, and kept doing that 15 million times, hitting the exact same spot. Like, how do you do that? That is complete, total other talent, man. And for her to put herself through, she had to teach herself how to do that, because her brothers or no one in the tribe was willing to help her learn any of this. So she had to go out on her own and learn how to do these things. And by doing that, she messed around and saved her whole tribe by doing so. So had it not been for her, her whole tribe would have been wiped out. So if you ask me, she need to be the chief. She need to keep the gun, because she's the one that did the work to keep the gun, to even get the gun in the first place. So like I said, if you ask me, she should be the one that's running. Like, she should be the chief warrior, is what they call the other dude. She should be the chief warrior in that tribe, simply because of what she did. And if that doesn't prove that you should be a chief warrior, I don't know what would.
So I do think that was the ceremony at the end, was that they were making her the chief warrior. So I do think that's what happened at the end.
Okay.
Did you guys happen to watch through the through the credits, the animated credits?
No.
So they showed at the end, basically the animated little bit, like kind of like cave paintings of the story of the movie. But then at the very end, the last cave painting, she's standing at the edge of her tribe and everybody's behind her. And there's 3 predator ships that fly in, coming to her, which I don't think it was necessarily, I'm not saying that it was the predators after her tribe in particular. I think it was more of like an homage to, like, the predators are going to keep coming, in the future, kind of thing.
No,
it was just like a really cool thing. I just happened to like try to see if they did any post credits things or anything.
No, man, I didn't.
When I was watching it today. And you mentioned her going against the grain, like that moment showed, like, is kind of what I was mentioning about the director, is that moment she's about to leave her tent. She gets woken up by her mom to go out and cook and gather vegetables and all that stuff. And all of the women are all walking out to the fields. She stands there and she turns around, and then the camera shows an upshot and it shows everybody walking one way and her going the other way. And it was just like visually showing you exactly what she's doing internally. And like, just, that's what makes, for me, that's the movie so great, is the director is doing such a good job of visually showing you what is the motivations and the things that we need to look for, not just telling us what we need to know, he's showing us at the same time. Just did so much. Love the tomahawk adding to the rope, like building a weapon. That was just so awesome. Oh, I also wanted to mention too, the bow and arrows, the way that they were firing the bow and arrows. I actually saw a video, it's been a few years now, where there was a guy that's like a professional bow and arrow like shooter. I don't know what you call him. I can't remember what you call him, but that's how he believes that they originally, anybody that shot a bow and archer, yes, that's how that it was done. And then we changed it to make it more formal in the West. But he said that was like the way that it was done. So I was really glad and excited that he used that as his kind of the way that he showed them using the bow and arrow there too. The buffalo shot did remind me of the Dances with Wolves scene. And I do actually think it was the poachers that were doing the buffalo, not the predator in that particular situation. The French poachers were the ones that killed the buffalo.
Okay.
Yeah, at first they lead you to believe that it was a predator, because even when I first saw it, I was like, oh man, he killed all of these. And then when you see the poachers, I'm like, oh, it was these guys that killed that killed all the buffalo.
Okay.
Originally, I thought that too. I thought it was a predator.
The other thing that they did in that moment was that director is showing us that the predator is watching, he's not going after the humans at first. It shows him like killing an ant, and then it shows a snake, a predator killing a mouse, and then he kills the snake. Then it shows the wolf going after the bunny, and he kills the wolf. And so it's this really cool, like, in the same way that like the indigenous people would be going and tracking these animals, he's also like, this predator is also gathering these predators along the way before he gets to the apex predator, which is Naru.
Plus, he's learning what to do from those other predators. Like, this predator is doing this, that predator is doing that. I'm going to adapt this, and I'm going to adapt that. And that makes him a far superior predator, because he's just like being like a little AI robot, just taking in all this information.
When he kills that bear, that bear fight was, and he lifted the bear up and starts drinking its blood. I was like, this is nuts, this is man.
Crazy.
It just gave us a chance to, because I think, like we mentioned in the first two movies, where they're holding their cards to the end, and they wait till the end to show us the predator. And in this one, they get the opportunity to show the predator, and we already know what he looks like, but they show it in such a way that we're able to get more predator visually than we have in any of the other films, because they're always behind trees, and they're always hidden, and they're always taking people out throughout the movie, but you don't see them. In this one, it gave us an opportunity to see it, and in such a beautiful way, when he's in the cave and he's cleaning off the head of the wolf so he can get to the skull, and he stands up and he's not cloaked, and it just looks so, that amazing shot with the whole wilderness, in front of him, and then he turns on the cloaking and it just disappears, and just like, it's just visually everything, all the landscapes and the wide shots, and her walking through the woods, and just the whole thing, man. I was just so blown away watching it again this time.
Absolutely.
Such a beautiful film. That's awesome.
If I had one thing to nitpick, and this did bother me, just because of being like a Predator fan, and knowing some of the lore, is the pistol. The origin of the pistol changed from the continuity. Originally, there's a comic book where the Greyback, the one that does have the pistol and gives it to Danny Glover, they show him in the pirate era.
Yes.
And he comes across Raphael Adolini, and originally he's going to hunt down those pirates, but then the pirates betray Adolini, and Adolini and the Predator team up to kill the pirates, but one of the pirates kills Adolini, and on his deathbed or whatever, he gives him his sword, and Adolini gives him the gun. And I mean, if you see those panels, you see the comic book, it's a really, really good comic book. So for me to see the gun in this, I'm like, oh man, really? But I found out later is Trachtenberg himself said he thought when he was doing the film that he was going to have so much, like basically he was going to have the keys to the kingdom and read like all this lore and backstory. He didn't even know that story existed. So that's why he was doing it as a fan, like, oh, I want to like, bring back the gun,
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't realize that it was actually already told in the comic book. So I thought that was kind of
Gotcha.
cool, and that kind of gave me a little bit like, oh, okay, he didn't know, and 20th Century Fox didn't. They were just like, here, go make a movie, and he was so he did it, and he made like I said, the third best Predator film.
Yeah.
You know, that's my only nitpick. I mean,
Sure.
but other than
No,
that,
I get it.
it's
As a
not,
fan,
it's not his fault.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's awesome, man. Anybody have any thoughts about Predator, Killer of Killers? Just real quickly, we don't have to take a whole bunch of time.
That's the animated one, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
the animated
that
one.
was cool.
Oh, yeah. I thought so too, and I thought it was kind of calling back to what you were saying earlier, Larry, with the gladiator thing that was Rodriguez's original idea for Predator 3. I thought that was kind of, they may have used that as part of that too, but I thought it was really well done.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think my favorite one is still the brothers, the sword one with the two brothers. Which, fun fact, is one of the main guy. It was actually Hanzo from Predators. They got
oh wow.
They got him to do the voice. Yeah. So I thought that was really, really cool. My least favorite was what's the World War II one. Like, not necessarily, it was the weakest one for me, but still overall, I really, really loved Killer of Killers. I was like, man, this is getting me excited for Badlands.
Right.
You know, the Viking one, I thought that one was really cool too, but still that sword one was great. And then they actually got the Predator, the King or whatever, that one at the end. Even that one, the roar, man. When I heard that roar, and I was like, that's it. You know, they got me. You know, they got me. They got the roar correctly.
Absolutely. And I think, Josh, what you were saying about him being inspired by Assassin's Creed Valhalla probably makes sense too, why he included a character very similar in the animated story too.
I think I read that Kiro was a huge inspiration. Actually, Killer of Killers had two directors. It had Dan, and then it also had Josh Wasong. And, he works for a media group called The Third Floor. They've worked on huge movies. Star Wars Episode 3, War Horse, Aragon, Cloverfield, Prince Caspian, Shark Boy and Lava Girl, Iron Man 3, Ready Player One. Like, they've worked on all these big movies, but I think this is one of the first movies that he's like co-directed or directed or whatever.
Cool. And
but really, the only thing I have to say about it, just a couple of fun facts. It's the first Disney animated film, since they're owned technically by Disney now, to be rated R. So that's pretty fun. And then Michael Biehn is a voice in it. So now he is one of three actors: Bill Paxton, Lance Hendrickson, and Michael Biehn. They're the only three actors to ever be in Terminator, Alien, and Predator franchises. So that's a really cool limited space.
Absolutely.
And then and it's the first time that a Predator uses a spacecraft as part of its battle attack, because we mostly get the one-on-one battles, and this movie has, the spacecraft used as part of the battle, which has never been done before in any Predator movie before that. So that's kind of fun as well.
How are they going to shoot at something that has a force field?
Right.
True. It's true. Well, man, this has been such a fun conversation, guys. Thank you so much for your time and all the knowledge and wisdom you guys dropped on the episode today. Really appreciate it. I do want you guys to get an opportunity to share what you've got going on. This episode is going to drop on November 3rd. So if you think ahead a few weeks for what you might be having going on, or just if you just want to tell people, check out your channel, let's go ahead and run it down. Larry, if you want to go first.
I want to hold on a second just because I think there's a lot of background noise on my side. I don't know if y'all hear it.
No,
it's good.
I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I kind of hear it. Yeah. I don't know if it's just static.
I'll have you go next. How about that? All right, Tommy, why don't you go first?
I'm going to be putting out those videos, y'all. You boys are going to be stepping back in there. I'm going to put out more videos. I'm going to do more hunts. And, just gonna live life and have a good time.
Very nice. Very nice. Josh, how about you?
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. I'm going out of town Monday to Monday. So I'll be gone a week in Colorado. I see my brother, one of my best friends still lives out there. So we're gonna stay with them. So fun stuff. I'll probably try to throw something together while I'm out there because Colorado has some stuff that Oklahoma doesn't have. I have a couple of videos that I've filmed a lot of stuff. I just need to put it together and put it out. I'm still really behind. I probably have about 7 or 8 boxes to unbox on my channel. Just have
Nice.
not, I've had to like move stuff up because stuff came up before that was much more important. So just getting caught up and going on a vacation real quick and then coming back and hopefully being refreshed.
Very
Cool.
good.
You deserve it, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Larry, what you got, bud?
Well, as we are getting ready for Predator Badlands, I have a couple things that are in the works that should be coming up before that. One is I have the Predator Bone Throne. I'm going to be reviewing that. So it's from NECA, so I'll be reviewing that and putting that out leading up to Badlands, as well as I have a Funko box that I haven't opened yet, and it's basically Predator themed. So that's why I've been saving it for the upcoming Killer or Predator Badlands. So yeah, that's what I got coming up. I have a couple of live streams as well. Yeah, but other than that, it's going to be business as usual.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Well,
again, oh, nice. Well, guys, again, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Everybody, please go support these guys. They do some amazing stuff. They do amazing work, and so excited to call them friends. And we hope that you guys enjoy Predator Badlands. Go see it in the theater. Go spend some money. See it in the theater. See it on the biggest screen you can see it on.
Cinema.
Yes. It's up to us, guys.
Support my guys.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So until next time, guys, keep watching movies.
Keep shining, y'all.
Appreciate it again. Thank you so much. Talk to you later. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Again, you can check out all of our links at bio.site/moviesthatmakeyou. Feel free to drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. So until next time, keep watching movies.